How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the brand new Signature Series cards that are going to be released into the game today, as well as a brand new Conquest map. If you guys are struggling with how to complete these Conquest maps that they have released for the 11th inning program, I will go ahead and link a different Conquest video for the 9th inning program that will also be effective for this video. It will explain how to kind of conquer each and every stronghold, as well as how to reinforce, how to move fans, stuff like that, all the phases. So these conquests might look a little bit confusing. They might take a little bit more time than some other ones, simply because you have to play more stronghold games. I have yet to complete these, but we will also see a Signature Series Ralph Kiner, as well as a Signature Series Cy Young release into the game with a new event a little bit later today, as well as, I'm guessing, a Signature Series Rich Gossage. I think we're going to get a Signature Series Goose. But let's go ahead and hop into some ranked seasons. If you watched the previous episode, the previous upload, I played a couple games of ranked, and I lost both of them on two really close games. Played some really good opponents, and came down to extra innings, and at the bottom of the 9th inning, we ended up getting walked off on. So we're looking to try and get those points right back. We're at about 830 rating after losing those last two, and I'm looking to try and get right back where I was at about 865, 868 rating, something along those lines. But we're going up against Ty Wolder, who was a part of the live stream as well, and got a pretty lucky hit with Babe Ruth in the first inning. Didn't score any runs off of it, but I have Madison Bumgarner on the mound. I really like using this pitcher. One of the very first inning programs, a second inning program reward, I selected this card. He's been in my rotation pretty much the entire year. This card has been really effective for me. He's not the greatest pitcher in the game, but I do locate his pitches very well. I feel like I'm able to successfully throw the pitches exactly where I want to for the most part, and if I'm not able to with this card, then I'm not going to be able to locate with really any pitcher. I mean, he has been the most consistent for me in terms of control, as well as he's a very good hitter. I'm hitting 355 with him, a couple home runs. I've had a 2-homer game with Madison Bumgarner. Here he's hitting a double into the gap. And, I mean, for the most part, every pitcher on my staff has a pretty high ERA. Mad Bum is about a 40-9 record with about a 3-point-something, 4-point-something ERA. So Mad Bum gets that inning started with a double. Cody Bellinger with a 2-run shot. A little bit later in the game, we have Babe Ruth facing Aroldis Chapman, and he's going deep. I wanted to focus predominantly on mainly these highlights. I wanted to try and include as many of the ranked seasons games as I've played, trying to get caught up on some videos, simply because I've been trying to live stream as much as possible over on Twitch, and the goal is to try and make World Series, so that way we have plenty of time for viewer games before the next ranked season starts. With MLB The Show having a little bit less content, I know there's going to be a couple cards released. I talked a little bit about them earlier today. I think we're probably going to get that Goose Gossage, simply because he's the one immortal card from last year's game that does not have a Signature Series player. But there's also cards like Joe Carter, the one card that is a special edition diamond that doesn't have a Signature Series player as well. But since we already have an outfielder in that Ralph Kiner, I'm kind of just speculating on some of the content. But with the less players coming out, I feel like it's good to, you know, mix it up, try and play viewer games, try and make World Series for that Chipper Jones. Since I sold him and picked up Jimmie Foxx, I wanted to try and unlock that card right back and then mix it up with some viewer games. So that's kind of my plan there, as long as we can get these few wins here and make World Series. A little bit of an offensive performance in this game. I started to get something going later on in the game. I mean, not too much action at the beginning, but a couple of home runs late, as well as the opponent has something going here in the bottom of the 9th. 2 down, he's got the bases loaded. One swing of the bat really makes this game much different. I mean, makes it a really good ball game. But here he got his base runners mixed up a little bit. This has happened to me plenty of times. He had to send his runner home. He probably tried to send him back, but since that guy was already occupying third base, it kind of messed him up, I'm sure. But we end up getting that win in that last game. So we moved back up to 840 something after gaining about 18 points, 18 or 19 points for that win. Let's hop into another game. We have Madison Bumgarner on the mound once again. Very first Actually, the second batter of the game is going deep. His creative player, I completely messed that up with Babe Ruth. I tried to slowly jog to the ball out there and then press R1 to rob it, but as soon as I kind of stopped with my left stick, he also stopped, and that ball got over his head for a homer. But anyway, Willie Mays is starting the inning off with a 1-out base knock. Babe Ruth on an 0-2 count is giving us a 1-run lead with a 2-run homer. That card has been the best hitter for me since picking him up. I mean, he has 100 hits, 43 of them are home runs. That's absolutely incredible for a left fielder, for an outfielder, somebody who has 125 stats across the board. Not really the best fielding from Babe Ruth, but he does get the job done at the plate. You have to have that bat in the 3 spot. At least that's how I feel. But this opponent was definitely a good hitter. I mean, the last opponent was also a good hitter. We're going up against some really tough opponents in this ranked seasons in the championship series already. I noticed when you make the championship series, you know, a week and a half or 2 weeks into the season, and you're trying to make World Series, you're going to be going up against some really good opponents. The later on you wait in the season, I feel like you have a better chance to play people that are also in the championship series later on. They have not necessarily made that push for World Series. It's also just, you know, an opinion-based comment there. Just my experience. I've played the last few days of ranked seasons. Also, that was, you know, very difficult. Put a little bit of pressure on myself because I didn't really have much time. But this late in the year, I feel like people that are still playing ranked seasons, especially trying to make World Series rather quickly, they're going to be pretty good at this game. Just the way the game cycle works. People that are playing this late in January or at the start of the new year, leading into the brand new game, are trying to, you know, practice, trying to get a little bit better. Or at the same time, they're just diehard MLB The Show fans like myself, and they're willing to try and play some really good games. Anyway, we have something going here. A 3-2 ball game, bottom of the 4th inning. That opponent got a nice lucky base hit that ended up to be a double from Ken Griffey Jr. Down the third base line, down the left field line. Here I got rewarded with a pop-up home run from Lou Gehrig. I felt like I got under that. We got rewarded and smacked it out to center field. A little bit later in the game, we're going to square this one up with the pinch hitter, Albert Pujols. And that one did not have the distance. A little bit off the end of the bat maybe. Hit it to dead center field, and his center fielder, Mike Trout, makes the play. But we do have Cody Bellinger coming up to the plate, facing a lefty. He has 125 power, and Josh Hader's going to throw a fastball. I felt like I popped this one up as well. Similar hit to the one with Lou Gehrig, but this one gets over the fence. I mean, I saw 58 speed creative player Pablo Sanchez was just running there, so I assumed it was a homer. But at the same time, I mean, this late in the game, he brought in Frank Thomas. This game is still very close. He has 90 speed Ichiro coming around to score. That's Babe Ruth's arm strength in left field. If I had a diamond fielder, or maybe, you know, 90 plus arm in left, then that could be a play at the plate. He's going to tie the game up a little bit later on with Mike Trout, a swing the other way. That's going to tie the game up 5-5, and we're late in the ball game. Bottom of the 9th inning, facing Kirby Yates. Rogers Hornsby's leading off, and I felt like I got that one. I was hoping for, you know, a walk-off home run, but I'll take the single. That kind of sets up the inning. However, I was unable to score him, and that's pretty much the difference in this ball game so far. 5-5. I had a great chance to win the game. Now we're facing Mike Trout with 2 down, and he smacks one out. A 2-out rally, a solo shot with Mike Trout, an amazing swing. That pitch was below the zone. A curveball, good squared up. You guys can see the feedback there on the bottom left. And his creative player, the very next batter, sends another one deep. So back-to-back solo shots with 2 down. And that's really unfortunate. I mean, to play this entire game, to have a really good game up until this point, and have a chance to win it, I ended up giving up 2 solo shots in the top of the 10th inning. But Ted Williams is starting this inning off with a late double. I got rewarded, very similar swing to his Ken Griffey Jr. earlier. That one got over the fence for a ground rule double. This one I felt like was going to tie the game up. A 2-run shot from Cody Bellinger, but it stays in the yard, and Ichiro makes the play. I felt like tagging up. That was kind of risky. Pretty close play at third base, but I need that run. I need both of these runs. The game-tying run is at the plate. Willie Mays on a 3-2 count. End up drawing the walk there, so that's going to bring up Babe Ruth. And this is the perfect situation. This is the exact situation I want. I'm looking for that fastball inside. He brought in Billy Wagner, a lefty, and I popped it up. He got me to chase a little bit. That was the pitch I was looking for, and he threw it just out of the zone. A perfect pitch. But now we have Jimmie Foxx up at the plate with the chance to save the game. I mean, one shot into the gap will tie it with 92 speed. He has Billy Wagner, left him in, and Jimmie Foxx is going to drive that one to the right center field gap, and it gets over the fence for a walk-off 3-run homer. So kind of a crazy way to finish that one up. We get back the points we previously lost, move right back up to 865. If you noticed in the previous episode, I lost 2 games. I started at 865, lost those 2, moved down to about 820 something, and now right back to 865. So that's important to get those points right back. I went ahead and purchased a few of these bundles from some headliner packs. So let's go ahead and open up these bundles. We have a diamond here in the very first couple of packs. I wanted to kind of skip ahead and just include some of the action. We've already pulled a couple gold cards, Aaron Nola, a couple other ones out of these headliners, and I probably spent about 60k stubs on some of these bundles. I also purchased a finest pack to try and maybe get lucky, but there we get another DJ LeMahieu from the Yankees. That's probably the 3rd or 4th one I've pulled since he's gone up to a diamond, as well as acquired by the Yankees. So I wasn't too concerned with pulling any diamonds. I wasn't trying to make any stubs this way. I was just trying to pull some packs for the live stream after a couple games of ranked season. So we end up pulling another diamond though, 135 home runs, 519 RBIs. I saw that this was at Baltimore's field. I thought that it might be Adam Jones. I thought that it might be the Signature Series Adam Jones card. I was trying to think who else is on the Orioles that has a diamond card, and I was unsure, but it ends up being this 88 overall Matt Wieters, and I completely forgot that he was actually in the game. That card's not bad against lefties, kind of out of date, was released way earlier on in the season, but anyway, that's the first time I've pulled one of those type of cards, like a flashback diamond out of a pack. Anyway, we are getting a couple silvers here to end this one off. We have a Signature Series pack as well as a Finest pack. So we get the base round in this one. That's really all I've pulled. I've pulled the medium tier once. I guess it's the mid tier one time. I picked I picked Hanley Ramirez. But now we have the Finest Elite pack, and I've packed Alex Bregman once. I pulled the rare tier out of these Finest packs one time, and that was throughout the 11th inning program, I'm pretty sure. But we get the base tier in this one. I figured I would just take Max Muncy or Bo Bichette, someone who I didn't necessarily have. But I've tried out, for the most part, I've tried out all these cards, and a lot of them are really good. I think this Max Muncy is really good. The All-Star version of this card is also pretty good. Might even be better than that Finest. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you guys think about the brand new Signature Series cards released into the game, as well as hopefully those ranked seasons highlights were good. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.